I've been working for my village for more than 30 years by developing it. And I've done it voluntarily. I've done a lot of other things. I've been working for a company I think that some of you know about. It's IKEA. They have their heart. This is where they started in Älmhult. It's very close to Haradsback. So it's the heart of IKEA. Häradsbäck is just a small village. It's in the village there are about 150 people, and in the whole parish we have 460. We live in the middle of nowhere in the forest. We have loads of forest as stands, and we used to have more farmers around here, but farming is going down a lot, which also affects the countryside. We have I have a paper here to remind me what to say. We have through the years built up, we noticed that if we don't do anything, our village will disappear. And then we started our trip at least 20 years ago to start to take the what do you call it? We want to take back the order to try to do something just like Sans to change the development. And it all started with our local grocery store, which went bankrupt, and we started in our association. We took it over, and then we have run the grocery store for now 20 years. It's a tough business to run a grocery store in the countryside because it's a limited amount of visitors or inhabitants who can actually do their shopping there. And also the pricing is not as favorable in a local shop as it is on the supermarkets nearby. So we had a tough time, but we tried to figure out how to do things to make more visitors come to us. So we have built up a meeting point with other services. So we have a cafe and restaurant, and we have activity park, which is used for mainly children, of course, but also for adults who like to do some things with their children. We have an activity hall also where you can do like pool. We have a shooting simulator, golf simulator, VR with games, shuffleboard, and we also have a bar. And then, of course, we hope that our customers, they drink some beer or wine or whatever, and they have a stay over so we can they can use our facilities for well, not for, we don't have a guest room, but we have the way you can connect your caravan, or I don't know how to help me, ställplats.
Mobile homes,
yes.
place for connecting mobile homes.
Yes, so you can have electricity, and then we have the service place where you can use the bathroom and shower and wash your clothes. We have various services. You can charge your car if you like to, and we also sell LPG if you need some for your either car or for a caravan. So this has been something that we have done in our village to kind of get people back, and it apparently have attracted a lot of people. So people are moving back. It's not only elderly people living here now, but we have bought the elderly home to make it better for the elderly people, because former they couldn't stay in the village. They had to leave to find other homes when they couldn't make it by themselves at home. But we have bought the former elderly home, and now we run it by ourselves, and we have 16 apartments. almost 20 years ago, we had a storm here, which affected the southern part of Sweden a lot. So we were cut off from electricity where I live from 30 days. And that was an experience. I actually wouldn't be without it, because it was a very learning experience, but I don't know if I'd like to do it again. But that gave also a feeling of you never know what will happen. So after a lot of work and thinking, we have started a project which is meant to be a well, I'll show you, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'll try to share screen and see if I can show what we're going to do. You see it?
Yes, very
Good. I've done this 100 times in Swedish, but never in English. So please be patient. We have a project from a Swedish authority called Vinnova, who has granted us funds for a project for 2 years. And this is a thesis study included with connected to this energy system. So the first part of this model, because we have created a model which we think other people, other society, other villages around us in Sweden, and maybe also outside Sweden, could use if they think it's a good idea. I think that the situation in Ukraine has also showed that you need to be prepared. But this is green production of energy by sun, and we will have storage of this energy in hydrogen, and we will also set up a hydrogen tank station. So, and from the production of hydrogen, there will be a lot of warm water, which we will use for a greenhouse for vegetables, and also for a fish farm in aquaponia, which means it's a connected system where you use the leftovers from the fish to give the vegetables what they need for growing. I'm sorry, I'm not good at the vocabulary in that area, but we think also that there would be a higher self-production, well, higher grade of production of food, because Sweden has a generally low production of food. In case of crisis, we have a real problem. We are importing most food from outside. We think that this part will decrease the impact on the environment, and it will be good for the climate. Second part is we have an organization we call LRG, Local Resource Group. It's a group of people from the village or from the parish, which we have divided into different sections, who are in charge if something happens. It could be a crisis, or it could be catastrophe, whatever, you know, but they have a responsibility for looking after the people. They know if it's a storm, for example, who has a saw, who has a big tractor to get to clean up the roads and to do help for the people around. And in the village, we can open up for a service and safety point. We can invite people in for for food or drink. If they want to have a sleepover, it's possible, and they also can do the shopping because the grocery store will be open as well as the restaurant. The last point is the delivery of electricity in events of crisis. That means that from our storage of hydrogen, we have possibility to run points in the city, in the village, for at least 14 days. And that means that is our meeting point, Haradsback. It's a home for elderly people. It's the it's not called mill, but I know the water pond where you get the water from to the village, and also our fiber node where you have the fiber optics. That means that all those different points could get their electricity when it's maybe if it's stuck all over the place, or let's say Sweden, you never know. You can go to this place if you like to load your phone to have information, or if you like to well, have contact somehow. And when it's not no crisis, we think that this hydrogen production or energy production will gain money to the local economy. We think that will be, we guess that mainly it will be no crisis. So that means we'll be in the end very rich, of course. But we think it's very good for the village to have their own economy and to be able to improve, to develop, to invest in things that we never would have been able to do otherwise. And it's also a higher level of self-sufficiency. That's the word, self-sufficiency, to that. Hans Olof, is there anything you'd like to add here? Because I think
you covered the most. That your thoughts of local energy production and a meeting point was kind of triggered of this storm. But then, of course, it's not a storm every year, not every second year, or a crisis. Hopefully not. But to be prepared is a part of your thinking. But it also makes it possible to make a more sustainable village with your own strong local economy and the social connections that have been created by doing all this together in the village. So yeah, you covered it all. Okay,
we're 10 different associations who work together in one company. The timeline for what we're going to do connected to the energy is, well, it's a long time because we just started. We have we have actually come to the third part, which is proof of concept, because we have the idea and we have made the concept, we have a design ready, and now we are going to in the third part, which is proof of concept, which is a digital model of the concept, which is useful for test and simulation. And that is going to be used if other villages would like to copy or are interested in what we've done. It could be used, this model, it's a digital twin. I'm not a technician, so I don't know how it works, but I've been told that it works. And the step after that is the prototype, which is going to show that everything works and that we could provide those buildings we have picked up for electricity, for the support if there's a power cut. And second, third, fourth, then there is the pilot, a full scale version of all, and then finally the last one, which is the production. And that also includes an extra park actually of solar cells. So in total, the production will be around 9 or 10 megawatt. I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it's an awful lot of energy at least. And when that has been tried, we think that maybe other villages would like to know about our model. Yeah. So I think that's all. And as you can see, it's the timeline is like we're 23, so now it's a proof of concept, and then next year we hope to have the prototype, and then in 27 we will have the pilot ready.